Hello, I'm Larry Fryer, and welcome to Fortville Feeders. Fortville Feeders is the premier parts handling and feeding system in North America. Fortville Feeders was launched by Michael Krause in 1979, and he started this business in his own garage. We now operate in a 60,000 square foot facility dedicated strictly to parts feeding excellence. Our engineers are expert designers who combine years of parts handling knowledge with the latest technologies. Our toolers are very high-skilled craftsmen specializing in parts feeding systems. We have our own in-house machining and milling capabilities, including CNC milling, EDM drilling, and waterjet direct-to-print cutting. Let's talk a little bit about project management. At Fortville Feeders, we have one project manager that will be assigned to you at the time that you send in your request for quotation. So that project manager will define what exactly you need as far as that project is concerned, and he'll stick with you through the entire quoting process. Revision number 4, revision number 5, however many revisions it takes to satisfy the request that you have for that application. At the point that we're the selected vendor and that job becomes an order, we have various tools that we utilize when we do the quoting process, and we have a thumb drive here that we'll issue to everybody that has a couple of cheat sheets on it. There's one that's a bowl hopper capacity formula that we have that's on the thumb drive that you type in the various dimensions of the part. So the large dimension, the middle dimension, smallest dimension, for instance, and you put in the cycle time of 20 parts per minute or 400 parts per minute, and it will kick out the bowl size that's required for that various specific size part. And it'll also show, and you can see here in the sheet, it'll show the capacity of that vibratory bowl, and it shows all of our standard hoppers and the capacity for those hoppers as well. So you can kind of piece together a ballpark of the size of the componentry that would be utilized for your specific application by utilizing this format. It's important to note also, if you're typing in this information and the formula is trying to make a decision between, let's just say, a 15-inch bowl and an 18-inch bowl, that we do size this to where it leans towards the larger of the two sizes. So we try to get as much real estate as possible. So if it's borderline between a 15 and an 18, it's going to lean itself towards the 18-inch bowl. So there's also an example of what our quotation looks like. Our competition always puts a quotation out that's kind of a one sheet with just a few line items on it. There's an awful lot of gray area as to who's providing what and who's responsible for what. You can see with our quotation in this example, it's very thorough, and it goes through each of the various components with 6 or 7 subtopics under each component as to what all we're providing with each and every component. Our customers are very pleased with the fact that there is not a lot of gray areas in regards to who is responsible for what when it comes to our quotation. And included in this is our terms and conditions, payment terms, and so forth, all some very standard stuff. So once that quotation becomes an order and it becomes a project for us, we ship out to you an order confirmation sheet. And you'll see this example here, and that is some of the critical information for tracking our project. And there's various responsibilities you, the customer, has to adhere to, and various responsibilities that us at Fortville have to adhere to. And we assign dates to those, and of course, purchase order requirements, bulk supplied parts, for instance, approval drawings submitted to you. We try to turn all of our approval drawings, turn them around within a 3-day period. We'd like you to turn them around just as quickly as possible. Once you turn around that assigned approval process or approval drawing, that's when our clock starts ticking as far as delivery is concerned. And that's what we're trying to achieve, is we want to make sure that we hit all these required dates so that we don't miss this required FAT final runoff date here at our facility. This is an example of our parts board at our facility. We encourage everybody to possibly come visit our facility, but this is our parts board. In every feed system that we've built, we have our parts on this board here. We have a complete breakdown of profit and loss on these parts, as well as video and images of all the systems that we've built. So when you send a part in, we will often bring it over to the board here and try to find a similar type application. We also do everything in 3D modeling, and you can see we've got examples here of the various 3D models that we provide for you. We do a complete plan and elevation of those drawings. and you can see those examples, and then we also will show the various componentry as well. Now, the first round of drawings, we basically are just trying to claim real estate here. So we're trying to say these are going to be the overall dimensions and size of this componentry. We're not going to get into the overall heavy detail of the mechanization and so forth, but you can see in these drawings we do get around to that as the project progresses. It's making sure that we don't have any interferences and so forth with your equipment. We are currently using Inventor version 2020 for our design software. That software allows us to design a feeder bowl from top to bottom. We team up a design engineer with one of our bowl toolers, and we take all those various compound angles and all that tooling, and we design the bowl from top to bottom on that software. That software package has flattened out all those compound angles. It's sent to our water jet. Our water jet cuts out all the various components, and it becomes a kit at that point. That kit is then duplicated for as many feed systems as you need. If you order a duplicate system, that feed system is stored on our server and can be duplicated at any time.